All right, so welcome back to another episode of Too Much Podtar. Today is August 17th, and we're back with another DFS episode. We got myself and Joey Ricotta again, but we also have a new special guest for us for today. First DFS pod he's on, and second overall pod as he was on the Toronto Blue Jays season preview back a long time
I
ago.
think I have it here. It was in March.
Oh yeah, March before we were supposed to have a regular, like an actual season, full 162 games. But yeah, Frank Ammirante, I think I said your name right.
You did. Good job. What's going on, everyone?
We
What's going on? Your name is like hard to say sometimes.
Yeah,
I always think like, am I right?
Yeah, everyone on Twitter says that. I never got that in person. No one said that. But it's a thing with Twitter. Everyone's saying that they read my last name as "Am I right?" It's just Amarante, or if you say it really Italian, it's like Amirante.
Ammirante. Yeah. See, I should know that though, being Italian, but I don't speak fluent, so there we go.
Me either. But yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys want to just jump into it, and we could start off with pitchers like we usually do. So,
All right.
not really much pitching that's that I really like. So it's kind of hard to pick on days like this where it's kind of like a bunch of pretty much hit or miss guys, but I kind of go based off the matchups for those days, a day like this. But I definitely want to stay away from Ryu at the top.
Oh yeah.
He's too expensive for that. Like he's not even against the Baltimore lineup too. So
yeah, definitely stay away from Ryu. It's at Camden Yards, and then the O's have been really hitting lefties well.
Yeah.
So he's I don't know why he's priced so high on FanDuel. He's 9,300. Not sure what is he on DraftKings.
He's 9,400.
Yeah,
Same.
so
Yeah.
definitely out on him.
Yeah.
I do like Zach Gallen at home. I know he plays the A's, but I think they strike out a lot. I'm just checking here. I just saw against righties, they have a K going into today. They had a K percentage of 25.3, which is 8th worst in the MLB. And Gallen has racked up strikeouts. The last, like all 4 of his starts, he's had at least 6, including one where he had 9. So at home, I know on FanDuel, he's the most expensive on the main slate, but I'd be willing to pay up for him there. What do you guys think of Gallen?
I like that. I was about to say too, he's one of the guys I'm interested in because, I mean, he looks like the real deal. And whenever you can escape cores, only allowing a 2-run homer, I mean, you're doing something right. So, obviously his metrics and all that, they look pretty solid. I mean, he was great last year. The A's aren't exactly a team that you want to pick on most of the time, but they do have a lot of righties that are scattered throughout the lineup most nights. So I feel like you can kind of pick and choose how you want to attack them depending on the pitcher that they're facing. And this might be a spot where you can do that because I think I don't think he'll be over-owned because of the matchup.
Yeah, and another guy I like is Kenta Maeda. He's 8,700 on FanDuel. But to your point about Gallen maybe being under-owned, I think Maeda will be heavily owned at home against the mediocre Royals lineup. They have a 3.11 WOBA against righties, which is 19th in MLB. And yeah, I see him and Stripling, who's home to the Mariners, who also have been struggling to score runs. I think those two will be the most heavily owned on the slate. I do like them though, but not as much as Gallen.
I like those guys a lot too. Yeah, but Stripling was one of my main guys, especially against the Mariners, who have one of the worst offenses in the league.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Any of those three are the clear. I think they're the clear. They're way ahead of the rest of the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stripling is. I think I think you just put Stripling in cash games and probably forget it.
Right.
Maybe not on FanDuel, but on DraftKings where you have two pitchers. I think, I mean, he has to prove himself now as a member of the rotation too, with Tony Gonsolin kind of breathing down his neck and pitching well, and then Alex Wood looks to be probably returning soon. So he could be the odd man out because he kind of struggled the last time or two. But his curveball and changeup are disgusting. Seattle is the 8th worst WOBA against righties this year, just 296. So, I mean, we've seen some of these young guys be able to do stuff, once in a while, like Kyle Lewis or, veterans like Kyle Seager. They can make some noise once in a while, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to hedge stack that, like in tournaments. That would be pretty under-owned, but you could probably get some leverage that way. But I think in cash games and you can do it in tournaments too, but Stripling would be one of my main options for sure.
The one thing I don't like about him is he just doesn't really go deep into games. Like 3 of his 4 starts, he hasn't hit the 6th inning. Like he's got he's gone 5 2/3 or less in 3 of his 4 starts. So that's the one drawback with him. But he does have a great matchup. And
that's definitely a concern because you have Dave Roberts, who he tends to pull the trigger a little bit early on pitchers anyways. So it's like, even if he is going good, you're kind of hoping that he racks up the strikeouts early because he probably won't go any further than 6 innings. He doesn't have really that upside.
No,
for sure. And then you looking down the slate, there's Griffin Canning home to the Giants. But I probably wouldn't play him. The matchup looks nice. I mean, I don't think he'll be that highly owned because his last 2 starts, he hasn't even pitched more than 4 innings. But he'd be a risky, maybe a tournament play there.
Yeah.
And then I just want to say one more guy. The problem with him is he doesn't strike out anybody. And that's Brandon Bielak on the Astros. The Rockies, whenever they have an extended homestand in their first game after, they tend to, whenever a team leaves Coors, they tend to have a bit of, their bats are a bit cold. So, and Bielak has been pretty decent in his 2 starts, but it's the lack of strikeouts are going to take me off that play. That's more of a regular fantasy kind of streamer. I wouldn't play him in FanDuel, but he is very cheap.
Yeah, Vegas seems to agree with you too on the Astros. Well, I mean, they are the better team, but they like them. The negative 155 favorites going into rise of now, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Consensus seems Gallen, Maeda, Stripling.
Yeah, for sure. Alex, did you have any other guys, or because I have a couple? Or
I was gonna mention Zach Davies is one I like as well. He has solid strikeout numbers so far. 18 strikeouts, just 3 walks, and 22 2/3, and faces the Rangers, who haven't had really much of an offense so far. 656 OPS, 225 batting average, 288 WOBA. So I like the matchup. Davies has been solid. So
yeah, that's a good call. I didn't realize how decent he's been, especially his last 2 starts.
Yeah, let's see.
He's been solid.
Just looking here, his last 2 starts were gave up just 2 runs in 7 innings. His last one against the Dodgers, and then 5 2/3 no runs the one before. So yeah, definitely solid.
Like it.
And he'll get the run support as well with the Padres lineup.
Yeah, definitely. And then that Rangers park has been playing like a pitcher's park, so that's a plus as well.
Yeah, and they're I mean, we didn't get to this yet, but their matchup is against Jordan Lyles. That's a potential stack for them.
Yeah. Is it? I thought on FanDuel it's showing minor. Are you sure it's Lyles?
That's what it says. Lyles on
Well,
DraftKings.
it's
It's
kind of weird today. There's a couple like that. Like Frank, you mentioned Maeda, and Maeda's actually not even listed on DraftKings, and I don't know if they have
Really?
quite
It's
announced the starters in those games. Like they have Smeltzing, and they have as the probable long reliever, and they have Matt Wisler or
Uh,
Weisler as the opener. So I'm not sure if some of these games they might not have just announced the starters yet, or
yeah, because
you
they
know.
have it has Gesellman as the opener for the Mets. I'm not sure if that's
wow.
happening.
Yeah, it's been happening way more this year. Obviously, the shortened year, but don't you hate it like you're making this lineup, or even I write sometimes a streaming article and then I see that it wasn't even the pitcher I wrote about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Drives me
it
nuts.
sucks. Friday was so weird too. Was it Friday? They had like a million scratches, like
yeah. Freaking
DeGrom,
Degrom
Chatwood,
scratch.
Montas.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
was
crazy.
it was crazy because I wrote the article and then it was already up, and then Degrom got scratched. Well, actually, that was before it actually officially went up, and then I just took it out, took Degrom out, but then Montas got scratched when the
Yeah,
article went
it's
out, and the picture was Montas too, so I had to change the whole thing.
it's annoying. But
That
what
sucks.
do
Yeah.
we could go to the catchers.
I just wanted to
Unless
mention another
oh
one
yeah,
pitcher real quick. Um, I don't love it, but I can see how he might. Oh, and Griffin Canning, like, yeah, I kind of have some interest in him just because of his prospect pedigree, and
mm,
maybe he just needed some time to get himself together this year after not, he had the injury and stuff, and
mm,
um, but the Giants have the worst WOBA versus righties this year, um, and Canning's sitting at about a K per inning right now. I mean, he's shown higher K upside than that in the minors than last year. So I might have some tournament exposure to him, but I wouldn't go crazy. Same thing for this other guy, Alex Cobb, who I believe is 7,300. I'd have to double check on DK, but I I know you probably don't want to hear that because it's your Blue Jays.
yeah. I'm
But
actually no. He's been solid, Cobb, but I'll get to it later. But I'm thinking of stacking some Jays.
which is, yeah, I would do both. If you're gonna play Cobb, I think you run it on the other side too because it's not, I would definitely do both. And I mean the Blue Jays are killing it. They've got 35 runs in their last 5 games, so this isn't exactly a safe play by any means. And Cobb, I mean, he's had good outings fantasy wise. It seems like every other start. So what I'm thinking is maybe this is the good start, but his underlying numbers really aren't that good, so that's pretty scary. But I can just see him maybe in that price range being somebody that might get a little bit of ownership. So if he's getting ownership, then I would stack against him for sure as leverage. And the Blue Jays are a scary enough team that they could go off.
hmm
Yeah,
So that's pretty much all I got there. Like Ryu, obviously tournament only probably. But he's more of a ground ball pitcher. He's actually striking out batters at a 28.2% clip, which is more than last year by like 6% almost. But it's early on here, and he still is a ground ball pitcher. Baltimore doesn't even ground that much. Seventh lowest GB percentage in the majors at 39.9%. So I don't really think you need to go there salary wise.
No,
no,
clear avoid, Ryu. I'd
yeah,
even suggest playing guys like Alberto and Nunez against them because they really hit lefties well.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Alberto. Yeah, those are some guys for sure you can look to target.
hmm Want to go before we move on to the catchers?
Yeah, we could.
Well,
We usually we just do like a couple hitters each, but we
Oh,
could
okay,
just
okay.
run
I thought
through.
Oh,
You
okay,
could
I
run.
thought
You
we
could do that too, though, if you want. Like, just run through like what our picks are for each position or whatever.
okay.
Like,
What do you,
just maybe.
whatever you guys want.
I don't know. What do you want to do, Joey?
I'm good with whatever. I didn't really go position by position, but
So
if we're
let's
looking
just
at
do
it, I'll
hitters
look at
then.
it. So I mean, I
Yeah,
can
Yeah,
look. We can do whatever.
yeah, we could
yeah.
be different. I mean, change it up a little bit.
I
So
think it's kind of cool. We got a extra guy on here with a different look at things. So we could go position by position. I'm good with whatever.
Okay, so I mean, playing on since like I said, I mostly play on FanDuel and I don't have to take a catcher. I don't do it too often. But if I were to recommend one, I mean, Mitch Garver against the lefty is always in play. He kills lefties, and on FanDuel he's only 2,500. He's going up against that rookie on Kansas City, Bubic. What's his name? Is that how
yeah,
you say his name?
I think it's Bubic. I don't know.
Bubic, yeah.
I thought it was boobage. I have no idea.
Probably it's no. If you say it properly, it's definitely itch, but I don't know how they like pronounce it on
I think
televised.
it's like some girl, her bra was bothering her, and it's like boob
Oh
itch.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't. I don't know.
Garver is in play definitely because he crushes lefties, like I said, and it seems like Gary Sanchez breaking out of his funk,
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
and he's
He's
facing Martin Perez too.
he's hit the home
Mhm.
runs in those last 3 games. So
Yeah, definitely an option. How about you, Joey? What do you think?
Um, lately I've been kind of spending down, and then like if it works with my stacks, I spend up at catcher because I just want to get that much exposure to different teams and and the heart of their order or whatever. But somebody I could see going against Jordan Montgomery, I kind of like Christian Vasquez. He hasn't really hit a bomb here for a while, and I think it's only a matter of time because he's got too much pop. But he's 4,500. He's not exactly cheap. Um, so it's probably it's not that's not a cash game play for me, but that's somebody that I'll probably want to get to. And Martin Maldonado, who also his price just keeps going up, and he was always that punt option for me, but he's somebody that has power, and he's going to go up against the lefty Kyle Freeland. And you mentioned it, teams leaving cores rough their first outing or two after they leave. So I think that might be another route to go there with Maldonado, even though he doesn't hit in the heart of the order or anything like that. But just somebody with some pop at the catcher position is what I look for.
I'll also add one more guy. He homered in his first big league at bat today. The Dodgers. He has prospect pedigree. Keibert Ruiz on
hmm.
FanDuel.
Oh
He's only
yeah.
2,000. So he'll
Oh,
be.
wow.
He'll likely be playing again. I could imagine after his strong debut, because I know they sometimes
Oh yeah.
mix in Barnes. Um, and he faces Justin Dunn of the Mariners, who just walks a ton of guys. Just not a good pitcher by any means. So he'd be a nice cheap option as well.
Yeah, if he's in the lineup, I think he's the cash game lock. I had completely forgot about him. He's 2.6K on DK, so if he's in the lineup, you just put him in and you move on, I think.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Um, just to mention another guy you didn't mention yet. I like Pedro Severino. Facing off against Ryu.
Good
He had
call.
a home run on Sunday, 3 for 4. So
Yeah, that's a good call. I'm pretty sure he's been mashing lefties as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
And yeah, Ryu he could either pitch like a solid game or just get hit real hard. I could definitely. That's a nice call. I like that one a lot.
um,
So what?
yeah. We can move to first base now.
All right. So I have two first basemen I like a lot. One is Vlad Jr. On FanDuel, he's 2,700, and he's homered twice in his. I just did a tweet. He's homered twice in his last 19 plate appearances, and he's starting to hit less grounders. Like, he was just hitting so many grounders throughout the season. Like, it was an insane ground ball rate. And now I went back to look, and he's only hit 5 over his last 19 plate appearances. He's starting to hit the ball in the air more. And going into Camden, he's got a good ballpark for him to go yard. So and he's at a cheap price, 2,700 against Cobb. So I'm definitely liking Guerrero. And then one more, Miguel Cabrera is going to be very low owned because his numbers look terrible. But if you look at his StatCast, he's got 95th percentile in exit velocity, 96th in hard hit percentage. And then at his expected stats, he's got an expected batting average of 279 when his actual is 188, and an expected slugging of 494 when his slugging is actually 377. So this is a guy that's looks like he's getting a bit unlucky, and he faces Gio Gonzalez in a hitter's park. So he could be a nice low-owned option that could save you some money.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I went that route with Miguel. Was it last week? Not that long ago, and he put up a dud for me. But I hear what you're saying about the expected stats and all that. Like, he's getting pretty unlucky right now.
Yeah, I might as well give him a shot in a hitter-friendly park. See what happens.
Yeah. Let's see. One guy I like who's been, definitely really trending upwards. Eric Hosmer.
Oh yeah.
Joey actually was tweeting about it earlier tonight. His launch angle. We actually, like, a little while back, we mentioned on a podcast. It was funny. We were like talking about how he had a negative launch angle and all this, and like we were gonna have a podcast called what was it? From the Bar Floor with Eric Hosmer's launch angle or something like
that. Yeah.
Because he had a negative 1.4 in 2018, career 3.1. So far, it's 15.9 this season. So, and he had his fourth home run.
He's seems like he's dramatically changed his approach. In one of my main fantasy leagues, we have a 3-move limit per week, and then to open up the next week, you got to wait till 3 a.m. And I used all my moves, so I'm waiting tonight to be picking up Hosmer. So to your point, he's just totally changed his approach, and he looks like a different hitter, and he's in that stacked lineup. So I believe he's homered in back-to-back games as well.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
that's a 3 of the last 4 games he's played in, actually.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, ride the wave. Hosmer's a good call.
Yeah,
he's still cheap. He's only 3,700 on DraftKings.
Yeah, and Fanduel is 3,300. Plus, you might see people move away from him because he's facing. Well, as far as I don't know. You said Lyles here. It says Minor, which if it's Lyles, I think people will be all over him. If it's Minor, though, maybe people will drift away from him because it's lefty on lefty. So something to keep in mind.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be a very good tournament then option if it is Minor, because I still think he could probably do damage against him too in that lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add, like I mentioned before, Renato Nunez always in play against a lefty. So he's a 3,100 on FanDuel. It's another option.
Yeah, he's been raking too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now on just on the MLB app it says Lyles. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard to. Well, if it's Lyles, Hosmer. That's a good matchup.
Yeah.
How about Joey? Do you like any other first baseman?
Yeah, I like all those calls, and I like if you're playing cash on DK, you could go the cheapest route. If you have a little extra money to spend, then you can maybe pay up for somebody like Jose Abreu against Matt Boyd, because Boyd he looks freaking awful this year, despite all the hype and despite all the underlying stats, the stuff he has, the strikeout stuff, that he should be pitching better than what he is, but he just can't figure it out. And Abreu absolutely owns him. Career, I don't have the numbers pulled up right now, but he's hit some bombs off of Matthew Boyd, and I think
sorry to cut
what's
you
that?
off. Go ahead, and I'll let you finish. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, but yeah, so I like that, but I think it's a little bit pricey for cash. I think Hosmer would probably be a better route if it is Lyles. But then there's another guy too that's pretty cheap, Jake Cronenworth. He's real interesting. He's been hitting really well since they've given him the opportunity here, and I mean, he it's like he has a hit almost every game, and he's only got a couple bombs, but. His OPS is 950. He's hitting 306. And if he's going to be going up against Lyles, I mean, he's first base and second base eligible on DK, so you could honestly squeeze him and Hosmer and make a very nice and inexpensive Padres stack, which we'll probably get there later. But um, I don't know how popular he'll be or how if he'll be low owned or not at all, because I think some people are starting to catch on to him. But I really like that, him and Abreu tomorrow.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on Abreu because on FanDuel it shows Tyler Alexander starting for the Tigers, which is still a good matchup.
He pitched
So
today, though, right? Did he?
He pitched on Sunday. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I think. Let
like
me look.
See, all
he-
these like
I think he was
changes.
a long reliever or something, wasn't he?
Let me see.
He would. Hold on. It was. Yeah,
Yeah, he
pitched two
did.
and
He
a third,
did. You're right.
and Fulmer pitched 2 2/3. They like piggybacked off each other.
So yeah, so it's gonna be Boyd then. Sounds like.
Yeah.
So I do like that. And on FanDuel, he's really cheap, Abreu, just to add. He's
Yeah.
3,000, and that's behind the likes of like Mitch Moreland, James McCann, the catcher. Is more than Abreu, which is
Yeah.
pretty crazy. So that's
Ridiculous.
that's a good call.
Yeah, and I looked up his numbers against Boyd: 13 for 31, two home runs in his career.
I
So
like it.
yeah, I like that pick. We can move to second base.
All right. So second base, I like Kevin Biggio and Camden Yards. 3 of his last 6 games, he's put up 20 or more FanDuel points, and it's a good match. Cobb doesn't really go deep in the game, so even if he's pitching well, they could get to that weak Orioles bullpen, and it's a good matchup in Camden. Ketel Marte is pretty cheap on FanDuel. He's 3,300. Goes against Chris Bassett, who has been solid, but again, he doesn't go deep into the game. And the reason I like Marte is because I like a couple other cheap Diamondbacks, so he could be another, which I'll get to later, but Marte could be a stack with them. And then, like I mentioned, Hanser Alberto always in play against a lefty. He just crushes southpaws. And
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Biggio, man, that was one of my guys. Like coming into this season, I thought he was really gonna break out, and he still can. He still has what 5 bombs now at this point. So, I mean, I love Kevin Biggio.
Yeah, the good thing with him is even when he's not hitting, he gets on base so much, so he'll get you some walks to raise his floor there in fantasy.
Yeah, and he's got that jack in a bag upside too. He can swipe a bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one guy that's he's actually the most expensive option on DraftKings, Whit Merrifield, but I would pay up for him, especially if it's the Twins go with the opener long relief options. But if it is Maeda, I'd probably stay away. But Merrifield's been solid.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. He went 3 for 4 on Saturday. in the second game of the doubleheader. Home run, 4 RBIs. Overall, he's slashing 302, 358, 535. So 5 home runs overall. So pretty solid. He's always good. Hits the ball. I mean, you're always going to get some hits out of him. Most of the time, at least one a game. Like he was 1 for 4 Sunday.
Yeah, I like that.
He's on a 5-game hitting streak too. So, or 6 games now actually.
Going for the no, he didn't get a hit one of the games against the Twins. I don't think.
Oh wait, let me check.
But that was the only game. He's still got hits.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, he didn't get it in the first game of that series. He didn't get a hit. So, but other than that, so whatever it is, 6 out of 7 games.
Yeah, still nice.
Yeah. So that's one guy, and my other guy is gonna be Jose. No, I'm kidding. Not Jose Altuve. Stay healthy.
He's struggling.
He is struggling bad.
But
he got another hit. He's got hits in 2 straight, but he can't get more than 1 hit in the game. It's a single every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Donovan Solano is another guy. He's off to a crazy good start.
Yeah,
He
been.
did go hitless his last. I mean, Sunday's game, but other than that, still hitting over 400, 403.
He's just been a hit machine.
Yeah.
Only one.
Well, I think he's one of the surprises of the season for me, anyways.
Yeah, definitely. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
All right.
Joey, you got any other ones?
Yeah, well, I like the guys you mentioned, and you guys both mentioned, and I like I said, Cronenworth. You could play him at second base on DK at 3K. He's just tearing the cover off the ball right now. I mean, he hasn't gotten overly hot, but he's putting together some nice at bats. He's going the other way. I mean, he looks like a professional hitter for a youngster, and that's pretty impressive to me. I like Scope against Gio Gonzalez at 4,300. He's not terrible. He's a little bit priced up, but it's Scope. He's got some power. And going against a lefty, I don't mind that at all. And then the other guy who seems to be heating up maybe a little bit now, we mentioned Justin Dunn not being the greatest pitcher right now. Max Muncy, he's similar to Cronenworth. You could play him at first or second, which is weird because I feel like all these guys lately are eligible at first or second. Like, wouldn't it be second or short or first or third? But they're playing in different positions. It's weird now. But Muncy hit a homer today, or I guess when people were hearing this yesterday, against the Angels, and he put up 13 points the day before that. And he might just be starting to come around here. Muncy, we know how good he is when he's going. So I think against Justin Dunn back at Dodger Stadium, I think he might be able to bust one over the fence.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I do like a Dodger stack a lot. So Muncy's definitely a guy I'll be looking at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Dodgers. I like the Dodgers tomorrow a lot, or today.
Yeah. Doing that.
I gotta remember that they're like, tomorrow. Like, what do you mean? It's when they're listening, they'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Tomorrow is like, they're not facing Justin Dunn. But you know what we mean.
Yeah.
Do they though?
I don't know. So what do you think? Third base?
Third base.
I don't know.
Third base. I mean, the matchup, he's facing a lefty, and he hasn't been great this year. But Rafael Devers on Fanduel is pretty cheap. He's 3,100, which is behind which is among the lower end of the third baseman. So and Yankee Stadium, that's a value play for me. Yeah, that ranks about like out of the top 10 in third baseman on Fanduel. So he's definitely in play. And a cheap one that I like, another Blue Jay who missed a chunk of the season. I think it was a family issue. It was something like that, but he's starting to swing the bat is Travis Shaw. Uh, he had 2 home runs. Well, he hasn't done much the last 3 games, but the game before that, he had 2 home runs. And it's just a play about a lefty against a righty and Alex Cobb at Camden Yards, and he's only 2,500. He'll be low owned because hasn't done much, and he's worth a look. What about you guys?
Well, I mentioned Solano, he's listed as a second baseman and third baseman, so that could be, depending on what you do at second, you can go with him at third, or vice versa. I also like Gio Urshela. Well, I like the Yankees stack a lot against Perez.
Yeah,
Urshela's been good, really good this season. 4 home runs in 269, 866 OPS so far. 8.7 points per game on DraftKings, of course. One of his home runs was against Boston just the other day, Saturday. Saturday. So yeah. I like that option. And with the Dodgers stack, Justin Turner.
Yeah, basically all Dodgers are in play tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And also Anthony Rendon against the Giants. That's another one I like.
Yeah, they got who's it? Anderson pitching.
Yeah, Anderson. I'm trying to think of a cheaper option too, like kind of a value guy. I don't know.
Another one besides Shaw could be
maybe. There was one I actually thought of too. What's his name? Cuthbert from the White Sox. He's actually against Boyd.
He won't be in the lineup though.
Oh yeah. Wait.
I don't think he'll be in the line. He hasn't even had a bat all year, I don't think.
He's had he's
had one.
He's had one bat. Well, he was just recently signed back though too. Like he was.
That's true.
DFA'd because of Garcia, and then now Garcia is on the injured list.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah, and he does hit Boyd well, like you were saying.
He has, what is it? I forget the numbers, but he has.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think he has, 2 home? I think he has 2 home runs against Boyd in his career or something. It just depends on if he's in the lineup, though. But if he is, I think I would play him. With that, only 3,400 on DraftKings.
Worth a look. That'd be really super low owned, which is always good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might get him less than 1% owned, and you're gonna smash. Unless he's hitting like in a really good spot in the order, then he won't be touched tomorrow.
Yeah. Who do you like, Joey?
Man, I don't. Third base is gonna be tough tomorrow. I think. I'm not really in love with anyone tomorrow. I think there's a lot of good spots that you can exploit from just a stacking perspective. So I think I'm just going to get a lot of just different players tomorrow at third base and just kind of plug in wherever it just fits. But I guess as like a cheap option, I kind of like Jamer Candelario. Um,
Yeah,
he's
he's
not
good against
terrible.
lefties, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. I looked that up real quick, but I believe he is pretty decent against lefties. But yeah, like against Gio Gonzalez, and Gio doesn't give up a ton of hard contact normally, but he just hasn't looked good this year. I mean, I don't know if he's just done, if he's just completely finished, or what the case is. But yeah, Candeleiro's hit 353 against lefties with a bomb. His only home run coming against one. And with a 451 WOBA. I mean, this is a short sample this year, but he's just one of those cheap guys. And, I could see him possibly paying off that salary at 3.4K on DraftKings. Um, I like a lot of the guys you guys mentioned. Um, I know we hate the Astros, but Bregman, he still kind of looks good up against Freeland. And
Yeah, he crushes lefties too. That's another good call.
yeah, he smacks the hell out of lefties. And if, they have that kind of Coors hangover, I kind of I want to see what Bregman can do with those Crawford boxes tomorrow. So, yeah, I'll probably get some Bregman tomorrow for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, so let's look at shortstops here.
Yeah.
I like on FanDuel, Gleyber Torres continues to be very cheap. He's right now he's the 13th highest price shortstop, I believe, 2,900. Starting to break out of his slump. He had that one big game the other night, 4 for 4, and he has 3 straight multi-hit games. And like you said, we want to stack against Martin Perez. He's just not good. And another guy I was looking at who's more expensive is Corey Seager, another Dodger. We just really want to pick on Justin Dunn.
Yeah.
So, but I think I'm starting to prefer Torres out of those two just because he's cheaper and he has just as good of a matchup in my opinion.
Yeah, especially he's getting really hot lately. So
Yeah.
I mentioned the White Sox. That's another stack I can see as well against Boyd. So I like Tim Anderson against him, he's been 10. He was 10 for 36 in his career against him, so he's been pretty good. So I like him. I also like Bogarts against Montgomery.
Yeah. It's a good call
game.
too.
Let's see. He has 4 homers this year. It's too bad about Bichette. I
would have been all over him. Yeah, it sucks to see that he's hurt. He was killing it.
That's terrible. Bichette's so fun to watch, the high leg kick, and man, he's just a fun player to watch.
Yeah, he's a stud.
I also like Trey Turner, he's been on fire.
Yeah, he's been hot.
And
can he steal a base?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. He hasn't gotten one yet.
Man, he's hitting though. That's the good thing. He's getting on.
He had a home run that was the other guy that hit a home run in my lineup the other day.
Yeah, he's been hitting a bunch of homers lately.
Yeah. So I like him. I guess those are my main guys for the ones. Like you mentioned, Torres. I like him, and so Torres, probably Turner and Anderson are the ones I like the most.
Like it.
Yeah, I honestly I agree with all the picks that you guys said, and I don't have much more other than that because those are probably a lot of the guys that I'll be getting to. But I do think that Fernando Tatis he's been just smacking the ball all season. So yeah. I like Tatis tomorrow. It doesn't matter if it's Lyles or Mike Minor. Being the most expensive on DraftKings, I think not everyone will want to pay that salary. So that's another way to get different. But he'll still get some ownership because of how well he's been performing. So,
Yeah.
But I do like that. And I like, if you're going to go value, I would say the Mets shortstop. It's not Rosario. The other prospect.
Jimenez.
Yeah, Andres Jimenez. I kind of like him. He hasn't hit a homer yet with them or anything, but he stole 3 bags in 3 consecutive games up until this last one. But yeah, 3 bags and out of his last 4 games, which it was good enough to get him double-digit fantasy points. And I mean, if he turns that into a multi-hit game and a steal, I mean, I like that. It's almost as good as getting a homer out of him. And at 3.8K against, it looks like Yamamoto will be pitching. I don't mind that either.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you move on to outfielders then?
Yeah. So Juan Soto's been on fire. He's always in play. He's really expensive on FanDuel, 4,600. But the guys that I'm really liking are, like we've been, the theme of this whole podcast, stacking your Dodgers. I like going with the Jays and Miguel Cabrera because they're cheap. Vlad that I mentioned and Shaw and Cabrera's cheap. So then I could fit in Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger against Justin Dunn. And I also like, he's super cheap, Randall Grichuk, who's only 2,300 on FanDuel. He's as streaky as they come. He's starting to get it going. He's gotten 8 for 25 his last 7 games where he hit 2 home runs. And last game he hit in the 2-hole, which will likely stick because that's Bichette's spot, and he's hurt now, as we mentioned. So hitting in Camden in that prime spot is a nice, makes him a great value for tonight's games. Then you could also add in Cole Calhoun, who's been on fire. He's hit 5 home runs his last 10 games. And I forgot to mention shortstop Nick Ahmed has also been on fire. He's hitting 440 with a homer and 2 steals in his last 7 games. So just to pair with Calhoun, that's another option. But I really like Grichuk because he's just so cheap and he allows you to fit in those big Dodger bats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a solid call right there. He won't be highly owned either, so yeah,
no,
I like
it's
that.
just an ugly name, but he's just so streaky, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those picks, though. Yeah. Well, I like Clint Frazier. He's been
right, yeah.
He's
Yeah, definitely.
Like him a lot.
You know what his OPS right now is?
It's
like
really high.
1,600 or something.
1,696.
Yeah, he's
Fucking
killing it.
smashing.
And he's 2,900 on FanDuel, so he's still cheap.
Yeah.
He came back with a point to prove.
Oh my god, yeah. He's like, screw you, Cashman. What the hell was that? Why he's putting me down? Like,
yeah, they gotta. I hope he does well. I want to see him do well and stick.
Yeah.
Same, yeah.
The problem is he's like, once Stanton and Judge are back, it's gonna be like, all right, see ya.
Yeah. If he gets super hot though, maybe, I don't know, could you see them trade someone to make room? It's tough.
That's tough.
I mean, the only thing is like who's gonna trade for their contracts being what they are, like
yeah,
Stanton's. Like they're not gonna want to move Judge, I feel like, and Stanton's.
I could see Hicks because his contract is so cheap.
But the thing is, his defense is good, right? Man. Then Frazier would have to play center.
That's true.
Oh fuck no!
So,
Talkman's playing center.
Talkman. Yeah, but then but you're probably gonna want Giancarlo to DH though.
Yeah.
I don't want his glove in the outfield though.
Yeah, but I mean, Giancarlo, just because the injuries, you probably want him
Uh,
to DH. Right?
it's tough. I'd rather just trade him honestly because there's really not much you can do with him. Like, well, I mean, his bat is insane, but
Yeah.
there's nowhere to put him.
Yeah,
It's
maybe they
tough.
get it like a solid pitcher that they can get for him, or prospects too. Yeah, I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
But anyway, like, doesn't matter for DFS. Just
No, it doesn't.
that's all we care about.
That's
So that's
right.
one of my value selections for the slate for sure.
Yeah. I do though feel it's a good call. I like it. I'm gonna play it as well, but I feel like a lot of people will jump on him maybe because he's got that flashy name as a former top prospect, and he's just been roaring out the gate since they called him up, and he's cheap. But that's one risk to consider when thinking about Frazier.
No,
The crazy part was, though, I was surprised that he wasn't more highly owned on Saturday. I mean, I thought he was going to be more highly, and he really wasn't. And I was surprised by that. But now that it's kind of like set in a little bit, and he's got the lefty, I think you're right. I think he's going to be pretty popular tomorrow.
yeah, I actually called him like before, like when he came up before he even went into a game. I actually was like, "Oh, you got to start him."
Yeah,
'Cause I knew he
Yeah.
was gonna go off. I just knew he was he was been sitting there for so long and like
yeah,
waiting for a shot.
yeah. I picked him up in one of my leagues. I had the same feeling as you. He's just hungry to get that chance.
Oh, I tried to get him in TGFBI. I got outbid.
Oh, my team's awful in that. I'm just really struggling.
Yeah, my team's like I'm like so middle of the pack. It's not even funny. Like I'm
Yeah,
like directly in the middle, except like I'm not even in the middle in my own league.
uh,
So I don't
yeah.
know.
Tough.
but
But just to add a couple outfielders that are always in play against lefties, JD Martinez and Nelson Cruz, they just
yeah,
crush
Oh
lefties.
yeah,
They'll
J
be pretty
absolutely.
popular though.
yeah JD's like he's still waiting to get on fire. I think he's gonna get on fire soon.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah,
definitely.
I love those calls.
Another guy.
Um,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, yeah, go ahead. I got a couple too, but yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna mention another White Sox, Eloy Jimenez, who.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my dude.
Oh,
He's getting hot. He's getting
but he's
hot.
Yeah.
yeah against Boyd. He's 3 for 8, 2 home runs in his
Nice.
career. So, I mean, obviously, small sample, but not really doesn't really matter much. You can mash him.
You're really starting to sell me on a White Sox stack tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I'm definitely playing a White Sox
it
stack
worked
tomorrow for
yesterday.
sure.
So,
Yeah. Well, maybe against Boyd they can hit 5 in a row instead of 4.
oh yeah. Okay. When was the last time a team hit that many in a row? 5.
I don't know. The last time the Sox did, I thought I saw the stat, but I know the last time the Sox did it, I think it was like Jim Thome and Juan Uribe, and I can't remember the other two. Maybe Canerco was in there.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's been a while. So back to back to back to back jacks. Like that just
That's
doesn't happen.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm
But
seeing. Oh,
what's that?
no, I was just gonna say this is from 2017, and an article it said that there's never been 5 home runs in a row by a team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been done. Like
Yeah,
that's
I don't
tough.
think it's happened since then. So I mean, uh,
Yeah, that I would. I mean, I didn't even know if 4's been done. That's crazy in itself
it
too.
did happen. There's a video of one that happened in a college game, South Carolina and Georgia in 2008.
Damn.
That's crazy. Who else do you
Yes.
like, Joey? We took one of your
Um.
boy.
Yeah, you took one of them, but I mean, You can even put Louis Robert in there.
Yeah.
I like that if you're doing the White Sox stack. You guys mentioned the lefty mashers that I like with Martinez and Nelson Cruz. Definitely like those. That Mike Trout guy, he's pretty good.
Who's that?
He's got a pretty solid matchup
Yeah.
tomorrow against Anderson, and it doesn't matter what his matchup is. We know that. So if you want to spend up for him,
he's a pretty promising prospect, isn't he?
yeah. I mean, he might do something. I don't know. I don't know if he's like all that, but he's okay. Um, let's see here. I was working my way down. I kind of like Jacoby Jones tomorrow. He's kind of been somebody who's growing on people, but he's flying under the radar still because they continue to bat him at the bottom of the order when he's hitting over 300, and he has an OPS over 1,000. It's actually over 1,100 at this point. So with 5 bombs, I mean, against lefties, he's hit lefties this year, and like we said, Gio doesn't give up a lot of hard contact at least career-wise, but he just hasn't looked right this year. And Jacoby Jones is a 417 average versus lefties, and as far in Wobo of 648, which I mean that's not gonna continue like that. We know that's gonna regress, but I like Jacoby Jones as kind of a cheap punt play, or if you're doing like the Tiger stack, which I mean it kind of sounds like a decent option to even game stack that game with the White Sox. That could just be a shootout.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that, and like Eloy, I think Eloy will be in my cash game lineup tomorrow. And yeah, like we talked about the Dodgers, Betts, Bellinger, you can't go wrong with that. Trying to see who else is.
I got another
really
name.
A lot of. Oh yeah, go ahead.
He might be highly owned because of how on fire he's been, but Anthony Santander of the Orioles, he's put up double-digit fantasy points in 10 straight. He's coming off a game with 2 home runs. He has 5 home runs in his last 8 games, so he's definitely in play.
Man, yeah.
Some of these random Orioles are just on fire.
Yeah,
they've come out swinging this season. I don't know what's up with them.
Yeah,
I don't know, but Chris Davis is still Chris Davis.
Yeah.
Chris Davis. You know what, Frank, though? I don't think he'll be. I think that's a great call, and I don't think he'll be that highly owned because against lefties, he hasn't really swung it that well. And so far this year, and I think people will see the lefty. He does have a home run against the lefty, but again, they'll see the lefty matchup, and they won't want to attack it with Santander, I don't think. But I could see him. I wouldn't put it past him having a good game tomorrow or today.
Today, tomorrow, yeah.
Today, Junior.
Yeah, that could also, to what you were saying about a game stack, that Jays Orioles game could be a nice game to just pile up on.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think we're pretty much wrapped up. It's been like we've almost had an hour.
A long time. What do you guys want to try something a little different right now? I wanted to see if we could do something like this with all 3 of us. You guys want to make a lineup, like just one lineup, each of us pick a player and see if we can fit it in a lineup?
Okay, sure.
I like that.
I mean, I know we don't have screens up, so we can't. I mean, we do have our own screens up, but we're not screen sharing. But yeah, we can like go around the horn like that if you guys want to.
We should do that like for real, like sometime. We'll just like when we do a live one, like just to have it on the screen.
Yeah. That's
hell
cool.
yeah. And we also have to do home. Would you want to do home run of the day first, or like our home run call?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I
Oh.
could start. I'm going bold with mine. I always like to go bold, and I mention him as my cheap value play, and I'm going to pick Randall Grichuk.
Sweet.
Nice. Let me think. I'm gonna go with he was one of my picks that we did when we went through, but I'm gonna go with Jimenez, Eloy.
Yeah, he's been swinging a hot bat. I
Why
like
did you
it.
gotta steal my pick
Oh.
again? No, it's cool. I'll go like Frank. I'll go cheap guy. I'll go Jacoby Jones tomorrow.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
So for the lineup, because you two outnumber me with DraftKings, I'll just look at DraftKings and we'll make a DraftKings lineup
All right.
rather than.
Yeah.
All
I don't even
right.
have FanDuel up right now, so it's probably
Yeah,
a good.
I opened
Yeah.
it up. We're good.
How-
We're good.
How are we gonna do this?
We could just start like one of us starts with the pitcher. Like we'll go. Yeah, we'll go down the row. We'll see how it kind of configures. We could skip positions around too, but if you're all like click on a tournament or something or whatever you guys want to do, enter it in, and then we can we don't we're not entering it. Just
Yeah.
remember that.
Oh yeah. I might if I like it, I might actually enter it though.
No, you're not. Okay, no, we can, but just we're not doing it in a money contest because we can't share lineups.
No. No.
Oh, that's a legal issue. I'm pretty sure. No, I mean, whatever the hell you want, but anyways. So yeah, we can start with pitcher. Whoever wants to start, and then
Okay, I'll start and then we'll go. So we'll go forward from there. I'm gonna go with Zach Gallen, 8,800.
I like it.
All right. I don't know if do you want to go, Joey, or me? I don't know.
Let's say so. This is for a tournament, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
said it was for a tournament. All right, so I'm gonna avoid Stripling here, just because of that reason. Although I think he's gonna have a great game. I think he's gonna have a good game, and I'm gonna go with. Let's go with Griffin Canning.
I like it.
Okay.
At 8,200.
Yeah. Let's see, catcher. I'm going with Sanchez, 4,800.
All right, he's been picking things up. Okay, first
Yeah.
baseman. We might have to save some money now.
Yeah.
Looking at Vlad, but I'm thinking we might have to save money. Where is he here? I'm gonna go with a cheap option, Miguel Cabrera.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Got to get those expected stats to turn to real stats.
Plus this allows us to get your boy in there as a pairing, Jacoby Jones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does. And you know what? Since we're doing that, we might as well just start a little Tigers stack here. I'm gonna go with Jonathan Scope.
Okay.
Nice.
I like
We
it.
could do like a little wraparound or something.
Yeah. Let's see, third base. God. I guess I don't know. I don't really like as many value guys for third, so I have to go a little bit higher. I guess I'll go with Turner for 4,800.
All right. So shortstop says here we need to average around 3.8 per player. So we got to start going cheap. And I'm going to go with the guy I mentioned who's been red hot, Nick Ahmed of the Diamondbacks.
All right.
Okay.
Nick Ahmed. There we go. So we got 4K per for 3 spots remaining. Let's see. I mean, you guys have the next two picks, so it wouldn't be right if I didn't pick this guy, right? So I better just go with Jacoby Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say you guys, we'll let you guys pick the mashers.
Yeah.
All
Or
right.
the more expensive mashers.
Let's see. Well, I'll go with my boy Eloy.
Let me see.
All right, so that's like I got two picks right there. See?
So
Basically.
I was gonna take Cole Calhoun, but we don't have room, I don't think.
No, it's
So let me see here. 4,100. This is tough.
It is tough at this point.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to leave some on the table if you see something a little bit lower too.
So then in that case, I just have to go with the guy I've been talking up pretty much the whole show, Grichuk.
Oh yeah.
All right, there we go. This is gonna be fun.
I like it. You should tweet
This is
it
gonna be
out.
fun.
Oh yeah, we should tweet.
I like
Yeah. Like
definitely. Should we screenshot the? I don't know if we can. Can we share the lineup though? I don't know.
I
Are
don't
you
know.
allowed?
I feel like I don't know.
I don't know if
I
we're
don't know.
allowed to.
I think you can because I've seen people rate like sample lineup.
Oh, maybe we can then. I don't know.
I
I
don't
just
know.
don't want to be like, because you know how some people in the DFS like industry, they're like the lineup providers are like the cockroaches of the industry or whatever.
Really? That's what they say?
Really?
Yeah,
that.
they like the people that like just provide people lineups without like any content behind it. But I mean, we're providing the content with it, so it's a little different. But
Yeah.
I
You know
mean,
what? Let's
I
just actually, you know what you should do? Just say we gave a sample lineup in the show and it'll like they'd have to listen in to hear it.
yeah, there you go. You kind of like, and if you leave it as like you give them
Yeah.
something to, at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, keep it. Stay tuned for our sample lineup on DraftKings at the end of the show.
I like it.
I like that.
This is actually a solid ass lineup, I think, too.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. We got 3 Tigers. We got a few standalone guys, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean that's shit. They all have power too, so
Yeah, I like it. Nice
the upside
lineup.
is
Imagine like we see all these guys blow up and none of us played it.
Oh my god.
oh, that would be
So mad.
terrible. If they all had like great games and no one played it.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
That would be terrible.
Or what if we played it in every single lineup and they all fucking shit the bed?
Well,
we could go that route too.
I think Alex, Alex plays it. I think we could do this each time and take turns.
I like that. Yeah, we should do that. What if?
There you go.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
So what if I win? Do I have to share the money? No.
I think you really Joey, you're saying you can't really do that, so I guess.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. I
I've
read all the guidelines behind all this stuff, but I know that there was like a big fuss that was made about like these brothers that were supposedly doing lineups together, but they'd counter each other's so that they wouldn't have the same exact, whatever. But there was like an NBA DFS slate that they didn't swap everything out. Like for whatever reason, they both weren't able to swap. Like so, it like made it super fishy. And I don't know. I'm not sure if you can. How about you just Venmo us, like Doritos chips? It won't. Like it's not like real money, so you can just. I don't know if you can do that, but probably not.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see how it goes. This was good. I'd definitely be into come on this more often.
Oh yeah.
Frank, it was awesome having you, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Would you do this once a week?
Oh, every day.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'll try to hop on more often. I'll definitely come on again this week.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
man,
If
for
you,
sure.
I'd love to.
We usually do it like what time we usually do it, Alex? Like
Like around 11 every night, I guess, or sometimes the morning of.
yeah, usually on Sundays, like the morning of. But
All
yeah.
right. Well, we'll stay in touch, and I'll definitely be happy to join again.
Yeah.
All right,
So
sounds good, brother.
yeah.
All
So that
right,
was
guys.
it.
Win some of that pokes money.
Oh, I'm already out of that tournament.
Oh God, you got distracted with DFS.
Actually,
That's why.
what happened was you could rejoin it. So I got out before the show started. Then I bought in again, and then I stayed for like half the show, and then I got out.
Oh man,
Tough.
tough night at the office.
Yeah.
I think Alex, you're supposed to do like a sign off thing technically for this podcast,
Yeah. I was
right?
waiting for you guys to stop talking.
All right.
uh,
You can't tell us to do that.
no. Well, anyway, that's DFS. Hopefully, you win money today. Yeah. Good luck with that. And tomorrow we'll be back. Probably just be me and Joey again, unless somebody else ends up joining, like Johnny or somebody else. I don't know what's the availability, but we'll see. Uh, so yeah, just a reminder: you can never have too much pod tar.
Good deal.
All right. All right, guys. We'll talk
Yeah.
soon. That was fun.